I, being a very from a logical and technical field, I somehow it all connected basically. So the logic behind Ayurveda medicine and Ayurveda as a whole concept kind of I liked it. There is scope that it showed strong and it showed importance of Ayurveda to people and it showed importance of technology to the Vaidyas. Either they think Ayurveda has everything or they think Ayurveda has no future. So there is no someone in the middle who will try to understand me and give me what I want or give me or help me in getting ahead basically. So but that is something that they kind of cherish, that we don't need anything, we are not modern. But why don't you need anything? That is the question that I have then. So everything that is um, directed towards enhancing the experience of Ayurveda treatment, maybe. Why not? So I want to make it clear that I, I I don't see any need for Ayurveda to kind of compete with modern medicine. So that I wanted to make it clear.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome to Curious Vaidya. I'm your host, Dr. Shruti, and we are back here with another episode on the language of Ayurveda. But today we're trying to do something different. Until today, all the episodes that we've shot are with Ayurveda doctors. But today we have someone who was not from the field of Ayurveda and got gravitated towards it and has now started working in this field. So please welcome Mr. Sagar. Very habituated to say doctor now. So please welcome Mr. Sagar Joshi. He's here with us to discuss on Ayurveda and his perspective and what he's learned in this journey of Ayurveda that he has started. So welcome, Sagar.
Hi, Shruti.
Hi. So now let's get into knowing Sagar before we go ahead with this discussion. So Sagar, for the benefit of our audience, would you please give a brief introduction to yourself and what you're currently...
Sure. So okay. So I'm Sagar Joshi. I'm a product designer. So by profession. So right now I am at MIT Institute of Design in MIT ID University in Pune. So after engineering, I deflected to product design, which is more into designing of products. So from conceptualizing to detailing to finally creating a product basically from scratch. So that is product design. So that is my master's, and currently I'm doing PhD. Uh, Aside my teaching duties at MIT ID, I'm doing my PhD. By my topic I chose is Ayurveda. So that is how I came to Ayurveda, from engineering to product design and from product design to Ayurveda. So that is...
Okay, so that sounds very interesting. Feels like you've done a lot of things before coming here in Ayurveda field. So, can you give us a brief understanding of what exactly, in which field or which area of Ayurveda you currently work on or focus on in the course of your PhD as well?
So because I have my background in mechanical engineering and then product design, and I have worked on in the industry for few years on many products. So my focus in Ayurveda is also Ayurveda related products. And by products, I don't mean medical formulations. I mean the devices that are either used for creating Ayurveda related, you can say, formulations or medicines, or the devices that are used for giving Ayurveda related maybe procedures or for maybe facilitating Ayurvedic procedures, basically. So this like Panchakarma related devices or Agni Karma related devices. Like that. So I'm still searching. I'm classifying the products, which are the devices, what are they used for, and I'm still looking at devices I can target and redesign this.
Okay. So, as much as I've understood till now, it is related to all the devices or maybe physical products that we can use in Ayurveda and that are used, and maybe you will be able to give us better designs or enhance those products for us through your research. So,
That is what I'm trying.
yeah, so that's very interesting. So let's explore this a little more. But before we go there, I would like to know what was your point of entry to Ayurveda? How did you come from engineering to Ayurveda? How did that happen?
So credit of getting me into Ayurveda is belongs to my wife and your friend, Dr. Bhakti Mehta, obviously. So, because I closely watched and learned from her, I started understanding logic behind Ayurveda. You can say medicine, basically. So, or Ayurveda practice, and I, being a very from a logical and technical field, I somehow it all connected basically. So the logic behind Ayurveda medicine and Ayurveda as a whole concept kind of I liked it, and so there is a subject called system design which we teach in product design. So it encompasses all the systems basically. So anything that you see, any product, any service, it belongs to a system basically, and that system thinking we call it. So system thinking is something that I found in Ayurveda basically. So Ayurveda kind of you see whole body as a system, and it's not just one symptom, and it's all body that you treat. That is something I liked, and that was something that pushed me to explore more in Ayurveda. And, again, her passion about Ayurveda and her understanding and the way she tried to tell me and teach me things about Ayurveda started pushing me towards it.
Okay. So you basically found some similarity in the science that you had studied to the science of Ayurveda, and that's how you got into it. But this is my understanding to any work or anything that interests you. It usually starts with a problem. When
Hmm.
like this happens to everyone, I guess, in most fields, where if you come across a problem and that somehow triggers something in your brain that, maybe I can work on this, or maybe I can provide a solution here. That's how you end up coming to explore that avenue even further. So were there any such uh, places that you could identify in Ayurveda that led you to believe that, yes, this is where I can make a contribution or I can make an effort in this direction? Did you come across anything like that?
Um, yes, actually, I did. I mean, uh, I have designed many uh, few devices, not many, few devices related to medicine, modern medicine, you can say. So there is something called NPWT, negative pressure wound therapy, and all. And these devices are there, and the whole lot of research have gone through in that, and then these devices kind of help and help doctors or help modern medicine to kind of uh, gain more precision, or to facilitate these procedures easily, or reduce patient's pain, or increase the comfort level that he needs, basically.
Yes, yes.
And that is something that helped modern medicine. And I know Ayurveda has a whole different thought process behind it, but I thought there must be something that I can help, so that which makes the processes, the procedures, or the treatment of Ayurveda more comfortable, more more reduce the pain that people face, or make it more easy to take or maintain. So Ayurveda has many ifs and buts, or
Mhm.
regime that
Yeah.
doctors ask you to follow. It's very strict, and if you don't follow, your treatment is not. So design can help in each of the streams, and I don't know why, but I felt Ayurveda people are kind of reluctant towards going to new technology. Uh, they think that will turn the traditional Ayurveda into modern medicine, basically, and which has happened in many cases.
Yeah.
But if you understand the principles of Ayurveda, and if you understand where to tweak and what to tweak, maybe you can help in making it even better using the modern technology. And the you called the problem that kind of the problem was in the pandemic. So pandemic kind of pushed Ayurveda towards technology somehow. It
Yeah.
many Vaidyas have started their practice online, and so there is scope that it showed strong, and it showed importance of Ayurveda to people, and it showed importance of technology to the Vaidyas as well. I think that is where I think I felt push, and I thought maybe I have something here.
That's
That
really
is how it's.
wonderful to hear from you because as someone who has studied Ayurveda for so many years, that I do agree that there comes a certain bias when it comes to
Yeah.
technology or modern techniques and newer techniques to get accepted in Ayurveda, not just from not just from certain doctor community, but also I have seen this reluctance from patient side also, wherein if an Ayurvedic doctor asks for a certain investigation to be done, or a USG, a scanning report, an X-ray or something, patients get very apprehended and they are like, no, you are supposed to tell me everything that is wrong with me just by looking at my pulse. Do not ask for anything else. So I've had that experience as well. So yeah, this apprehension that you talked about with Ayurveda and technology, I think it's a big concern, and it's somehow holding Ayurveda back in this today's day and age, I guess. So that's my that gets me to my next question also, that when you came into this field, I know how you came into this field now because of influence from your wife and all the things that she was doing. But when you actively started pursuing this concept of design in Ayurveda and how you can contribute, so what was your intention in this?
So design is actually already there. I mean, if you see certain new brands, they they use new types of packaging, new types of fonts, and you can see lifestyle brands using design to catch new patients, and transferring Ayurveda to kind of a lifestyle brand. And so it's
Yeah.
already doing that. So um, I think, but it has more scope. I mean, I feel it hasn't tapped the real potential of Ayurveda. I mean, this combo of design use of design in Ayurveda is kind of has a lot of potential. So if only one part of Ayurveda is like one part of design, that is packaging and branding, can help Ayurveda gain so much, then other parts of design can also kind of so uh, branding is kind of comes under graphic design or uh, communication design part of it, and packaging comes product design part. There is a lot of these brands now have started using apps, not just for I mean sell their stuff, but they have started um, customizing as per the patient needs. They have
Yeah.
started giving them treatments, and so even the user experience design, which kind of is related to the app designing part of it, not exactly, but I mean there are a lot of parts of there is a lot to just user experience design, but app design is a part of it. So so if these three aspects have done so much, then I'm sure that other aspects will do wonders. And already there is push. Already people want this kind of holistic medicine, right? I mean, I think COVID showed us what modern medicine can do, basically.
Yeah.
So people are moving. So I think Ayurveda should also move, right? So when people are coming towards Ayurveda, but Ayurveda should also come towards people. So that is where design will help. So that is what I'm seeing.
That's that's very interesting, and I'm very glad that we get to speak about this because as a millennial Ayurveda person, this is something that most of my colleagues have discussed, wherein we may not have the vocabulary to express which the people understand right now. Like vocabulary in the sense, not just the language, but today there are so many avenues to express yourself, from social media to these apps to different new technologies. And as you rightly said, there is a lot to do in these fields for Ayurveda, because if we have to reach people, we have to make that move, because it is our knowledge and it's our duty to spread it to the other people. So I'm really glad that you're doing this and you're helping us in growing Ayurveda further. So
So one more
yeah,
thing I wanted to share is, so I want to make it clear that I I I don't see any need for Ayurveda to kind of compete with modern medicine. So that I wanted to make it clear. The thing is, whenever people uh, talk about modernizing Ayurveda, they feel that is the way. I mean, you have to compete with modern medicine. But what I feel is modernizing doesn't mean you have to compete with them. So you can modernize in your own way, basically. So I think that is how, if many designers understand this about Ayurveda and many Vaidyas also understand this about Ayurveda, then only this can happen. And
yeah.
again, their design can help. So that also.
Yeah. I think you're able to make that distinction because you have a close acquaintance or a person in your house that can actually that understands Ayurveda. Because this gap of someone who wants to do something in this field, but having a point of contact this close that can guide you with what Ayurveda is. I think not most designers would have this access. So I'm really glad that this happens, because the distinction that you're able to make about modernizing Ayurveda and comparing it with modern medicine, I think that is a very important distinction that anyone who wants to work in the field of Ayurveda, from any field, be it design, as you say, or from other fields also, needs to understand. So yeah, this is a very key point that I guess our listeners also do understand, that modernizing Ayurveda doesn't mean that we also start gimmicking or imitating what modern medicine has done up till now and replicate that, because it will not work also, I think, for Ayurveda. So yeah, that's important, I guess. And so the next thing that I want to understand from you is, you have been interested in this field for sure, but what is the challenge that you have faced up until now? Like, by in the pursuit of figuring out how design can help Ayurveda, or how you can contribute to this field, what are the challenges that you have faced?
Um, if you talk about my research, then I would say there is not much reference. So for what I am trying to do here, so I can see a lot of references for again research regarding the medicine. So there is a lot of research done already on medicine which are related to Ayurveda, or medicinal formulations, or medical procedures, or there are many researches which kind of translate what Ayurveda medicine can do for modern diseases, something like that. But not much in what I am trying to do, where I want to research devices. So, and devices, so not much. So that is about my research. Something that is, I would say, attitude of people related to Ayurveda is kind of bugging me. I mean, either they think Ayurveda has everything, or they think Ayurveda has no future. So there is no someone in the middle who will try to understand me and give me what I want, or give me or help me in getting ahead. Basically,
Yeah.
there are very few people. Either they are kind of, you can say, Sanatani in a way, so they have their own, they don't have time, they don't think that modernizing वगैरह छोड़ो, just करते रहो, and in their way they are right.
Yeah.
I mean, they are doing wonders, helping people every day. There is uh, very, they have no time, they have so many patients already waiting. So how can I go and ask them to tell me about things that I want to. So in modern medicine, lot of doctors write papers. So
Yeah.
they, my my own um, uncle, who is a orthopedic surgeon, he writes papers. So he
Yeah.
gets time for surgery just for writing papers. He researches and he writes papers. I
Yeah.
think if it had happened, then the big knowledge people would have contributed to this. Then I would have gotten a lot of references, good references, which I
Yeah.
could have used. So that is what I miss, basically. So this attitude towards research is what worries me.
Yeah. That's a very valid point that you raised, because when we were studying and doing our masters, we were supposed to write a thesis as well. And the one thing that is changing, I would say, in Ayurveda is this exact point of research, because there is a lot of emphasis being made in the recent years on research, because it's been made compulsory in post graduation. It's important for you to take it seriously also. Like, again, it becomes the discretion of the person of how seriously they do their research. But again, there is a lot of emphasis being put on it, and also this culture is being inculcated in Ayurveda fraternity as well. But the people that you are talking about, they are from a different school of thought. They're from a different generation, I guess, who did not have the means and did not have the aptitude for research also. They got very busy in their own way with the field. But I completely agree that because of this, there is certain level of gatekeeping of information in Ayurveda, I guess, because of which the information that a particular person has just remains with them, and or maybe there is a very tedious struggle to gain that knowledge, which shouldn't have been like that. It should have been more accessible, because yes, as you rightly said, it gives you also a lot of reference, and plus for budding doctors like us, it also becomes like a guideline of what they did and how to learn from them. So yeah, this gatekeeping of information in Ayurveda is a big challenge. I can see that. So let's hope that we can do
Uh,
something about it. Yeah.
so apart from gatekeeping information, uh, another thing is so uh, basically when I ask someone what do they need, they just reply, we don't need anything. I mean, just desk is enough. The desk and chair are enough for Ayurveda.
Yeah.
And if that's your answer, then you are kind of saint, I would say. Then nobody needs anything.
Yeah.
So, but that is something that they kind of cherish, that we don't need anything. We are not modern. But why don't you need anything? That is the question that I have then. So, if say, I mean, say in modern medicine, you go and you take X-rays, right? X-rays help you to identify where the fracturing is and everything.
Yeah.
But it also helps patient to gain confidence. They go that in the room, they kind of go through this big machinery, and then print comes up there, and it kind of feels authentic. And even the doctors are very friendly. They ask them to lie down in certain way, then they do the thing. And um, it kind of gets it it feels more welcoming and authentic in that
Yeah.
way. I mean, it's again just one perspective of it, but something that is lacking, I think, here. So when you go to an Ayurveda doctor, you don't know what is happening. I mean, they either tell you what, somehow it, sometimes they feel magic kind of. They see your nadi and they know what is happening, and it's magical experience. But they don't know what is happening. They don't know the logic behind it, and I don't think even um it's that welcoming as well. So I don't know. I have no idea of certain uh, practices. Somebody does have panchakarma and everything. Maybe there, if they prescribe panchakarma treatment, then they will think that, oh yes, I am getting a huge treatment, and just by getting treatment, they might feel better. I mean,
Yeah.
just by feel of it, that I am getting a good treatment. But I feel these sort of small things. What I'm trying to say is these sort of small things help you get better. I mean, uh, get a better experience basically.
Yeah.
So even designing a chair for say Ayurveda practice, why not? Right?
Yeah.
Designing a bed for Ayurveda practice, why not? Designing say something to keep your this on certain things, so that nadi pariksha becomes very easy. And so why not certain device for just placing your whole wrist basically. So small things, furniture, maybe a stool to get on something. So everything that is um, directed towards enhancing the experience of Ayurveda treatment, maybe. Why not? So this is where I feel why, I mean, if I am trying to give such a thing to them, why are they saying no to me? I mean, this is something new. I mean, when I go to maybe modern medicine, if I ask them what they want, they will tell me what they want. I mean, they will tell me that they need more attention towards, I mean, corners of the bed, maybe they kind of tear off the skin, maybe, or maybe some certain tool gives a very thanda wala feel when you first touch it with. touch the patient with it, basically.
Hmm.
So what can you do about it? So these small things kind of enhance, right?
Yeah.
So this attitude is really missing. So this is another that I was trying to convey.
That's very interesting, actually. When you say this, here there is a lack of attention to detail from Ayurveda perspective. Then, matlab, the Ayurvedic doctors or the fraternity is not paying attention to what its needs are. Because definitely, I agree that um, today Ayurveda is doing much more than Nadi Pariksha. It is doing much more than individual clinic setups. Because earlier, I would say maybe like 30-40 years back also, there were hardly any Ayurveda hospitals per se. But today, even a small clinic by an individual doctor also needs to be a certain way. The chair, table, kursi setup worked for a certain generation. But today's generation, I don't think gives attention to such clinics also or takes them seriously. So, in order for us as Ayurvedic doctors to be taken seriously, it is very important that we pay attention to these things now. So, I guess you should be looking forward to a long list of things that I would need very soon. I will work on this and get back to you with a long list of what all are the problem areas and where we need to work. So, you're opening a Pandora's
Thank
box here.
I will just love it if I get a lot of requests or a lot of this kind of suggestions. Then I would love to design for them.
Interesting.
And even modern medicine has a lot of devices which are at home. I mean,
Yeah.
which kind of users or patients use directly by themselves.
Yeah.
So I don't know what, again, I'm clueless about what can be. That is something that I mean, Vaidyas should tell me. It
Yeah.
could be just जो मैंने बोला like that regime को maintain करने के लिए कुछ maybe
Yeah.
it could be just something like that maybe. So it could be anything basically, but it should even reach the patient as well.
Yeah.
So they kind of have that back of the mind that Ayurveda is there to help them through every situation. So that is also one thing.
Yeah. So I guess we have gone through most of the things that I wanted to discuss with you. Um, one as a closing remark, I guess I would like to know from you that from being totally in a different field like engineering to coming to product design and then now coming to Ayurveda and actually working on Ayurveda and in this field, in this course, what has your experience been about the science? Like, why I ask this is because there is a constant struggle for Ayurveda fraternity, wherein we have to prove again and again that it is a scientific field and it is not just spirituality or it is not something that was told by someone in their meditation and the science behind Ayurveda is something what we are all trying to prove every day in our practice, in our lectures, in our colleges, everywhere. So, as someone who has come from from a very technical scientific background and explored or is exploring Ayurveda, what is your understanding of the scientific ways of Ayurveda? How do you think that can be justified?
Um, I would say, I think there is no justification needed again. I mean, if you need your need of giving justification is something that you should work on. I would say. I mean, there is no way. I mean, the thing is, you have to convey this more effectively with people so that no justification is needed. I mean, the way I understood the logic behind the whole Ayurveda. It's so logical. I mean, it's uh, there is simply your practice has a kind of hierarchy, right? You start with something, you kind of your treatment has a thinking behind it. There is perfect logic behind it. I think that logic needs to be conveyed more effectively. If you can convey, I mean, they say again, I will give just Nadi Parikshika example. So, and instead of saying that it's kind, people feel that it is kind of magic. If you tell them why you felt that you have this, maybe in not to every patient, obviously, but someone who has interest, maybe,
Yeah.
or maybe to students, to school students, I mean, then they will understand more that it has a very simple logic as modern medicine has. I mean, it's, or even in any subject regarding mechanical design or product design has. So like it's like mathematics kind of. Mathematics has a simple logic you understand, and there is no question about it, right? It's so simple. It's like water. So in that sense, you have to simplify it and tell it to people. If you do that, then there is no justification needed at all. So that is what I feel. I mean, conveying it, and it's happening already.
Yeah.
People like you were starting, people are getting, it's already happening. So I think future, in future, Ayurveda will play big role. It will come back, and it will be there in mainstream of medicine in India, I guess, and even in the world. So it will pick up.
Yes, that's the hope. And with more hands joining in, like yours, where we have the cooperation between different fields and different sciences to work together, I think that is what is the need of the hour. And once that starts happening more often and more aggressively, I think we can achieve what you were telling about. So, yeah, I guess our listeners also enjoy this conversation, and it was a comprehensive talk about how someone from a different field can help the field of Ayurveda and the this medical field per se. So, thank you, Sagar. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing your experience. And I hope it was a enriching discussion for you as well. And I hope we get to do more discussion on this maybe once your PhD goes further and you have new discoveries for us to share. I guess we should come back and do another of such conversation.
Thank you. Thank you.